What is up, guys? Welcome to this clan match between Team Unrivaled and Insight Gaming tonight on this Friday night. First up, we are going to have a ZVZ to kick off this match between... transition here for you guys. There we go. As we load in here, it's going to be between Akali. I'm going to call him A. Yeah, it looks like Akali and Pugwash. Guys, if there's any problems with the stream tonight, please give me a holler and I will try to straighten them out as fast as I can. I am doing this solo, so get it on. First match in as required for this week is Unrivaled. If anybody has played the old map Terraform, it kind of reminds you of that map in general. What? Alright, something's up. Hold on, we'll get you. Alright, so it appears the game ult afforded itself on Pugwash. So we'll get this game started right back up here. Yeah, there's been a bit of pretty rough pug. Alright, so let's get this game started up once more. Waiting for it. Wiki death. Alright, let's see if we can actually get this game started correctly this time. And once again, we will have Team UR versus Insight Gaming, Pugwash versus Akali. And spawning into the top left-hand corner of Unrivaled is the blue Zerg pieces of Team Unrivaled. Is Akali or Akili. Spawning into the bottom right-hand corner of Unrivaled is the purple Zerg pieces of Insight Gaming. Pugwash. Good luck. Have bananas. So the quick extractor trick going down here for our purple Zerg pieces. In the top right hand corner, looks like we will have a pull first into gas. So it looks like Akali is going to be opening up rather aggressively. I apologize if we did anything wrong here. Overlay's been transitioned. We do have a spawning pool on the way for Pugwash. No gas just yet, so he doesn't look like he's going to open up with a macro play here. Maybe a hatchery going down here real quick. What he's doing with this drone. Alright, there we go. Let's say he should be throwing a hatchery down here shortly. There is a pool first with speed on the way for our blue Zerg. He's going to open up with what looks like a one-base play and be very aggressive right out of the gate. Pugwash not really going to get the scout on this until after these lings pop. I don't think he will see these lings at all, to be precise. The Lord here might catch it as it comes across. Yeah, he's actually not going to be able to catch us at all. These lings are going to catch him by surprise entirely, but he does have his spawning pool done, and he is getting into a spine crawler real quick. He should have some protection here back home. He does not see a hatchery go down, obviously, I suppose. Did he scout that? He did not scout that. So the lings are going to show up here and put some pressure on this hatchery. I think he might let it finish as his lings have popped out, and they will come down a ramp here to try and stop this. 2 more lings on the way, however. It is 4 lings versus 8. Now 12. As his ling count slowly grows, this hatchery is going to finish. It doesn't look like he's going to cancel it just yet. A couple banelings being morphed in here as a baneling nest has finished back home for our blue Zerg pieces. These lings are heavily outnumbered, which means there isn't... He did not hatchery finish, but he isn't going to be able to defend this very easily as speed has finished up. This is actually a play I told him about, a 1-base baneling push against Zerg. Gonna pull these drones out here and try to keep them alive as long as he can. These banelings are going to chase him across the map. Is going to detonate. Looks like he has lost at least 3 or 4 drones there. Is he going to go back to mining? He does lose his hatchery, which puts both players back on 1 base. There is no hatchery. Okay, hatchery is on the way now for our blue Zerg pieces. Very cheeky opening indeed for our blue Zerg as Economy has joined the chat. Sorry about that. I'm getting distracted reading the chat. Anyway. Spycrawler is going to get repositioned here to protect this mineral line for any more cheeky banelings running across. Pugwash is going to scout that there is a hatchery down here, which means the aggression is going to be over at this point. As we will see a few more lings coming in here to try and be, once again, very aggressive and do as much damage as they can. Spycrawler here to push this away as these lings are just going to have to chill out and wait for a second. Pugwash is trying to get that creep spread started. There are 4 banelings in the mix as well. Our Acolyte is droning up behind us, which means the aggression won't be as heavy. It looks like he is trying to get a 2-base economy going before he makes his next play. Speed has finished up for Pugwash as these banelings are just going to get eaten up by a few lings and miss a crucial detonation with how he does lose over half his lings. These 3 lings are going to come in here and try and find some damage on the map. I'm going to get to work on this hatchery and won't be able to push it away just yet as there are lings coming out to defend us. This hatchery, or Pugwash's hatchery, has started back up. As we know, he did lose it to start the game. Puts him behind in base count, but he will even up here very quickly. Worker count, however, is slightly ahead for Akali or Akili. I apologize if I'm butchering that name at all. This Pugwash is just going to have to hold back for a bit. He is going up to a 3rd hatchery, trying to get ahead in the base count. Trying to get ahead in that economy. As there is no roach warren on the way yet, there is one, however, for our blue Zerg. Not much of the aggression really coming out just yet. Looks like he's going to push with a roach pressure after this. His queen is still trying to get this Overlord. He's just chasing it down. He will live, though. Yeah, there's a very scary opening that came out of our blue Zerg here. That 1-base baneling pressure could be a pretty game-ending right away. However, he is on 2 base while Pugwash has gone up to 3. He's trying to get this 3rd base up. He wants to get ahead in that economy game. There is no roach warren behind. Okay, here's his roach warren has finally started up. It's about halfway done. However, there is no lair just yet. Well, we do have a lair on the other side of the map. Looks like he might skip the roach tech and go into a spire, just to be able to counter these roaches coming out here for Pugwash very quickly. Roach warren does finish up. 6 roaches have started up, however, for Akili. The Spire Tech isn't on the way just yet. He does start an Evo Chamber, which he is going to get that +1 started. He does have Roach Speed on the way, however. Is going to make these roaches get across the map a lot quicker. 4 more banelings being morphed in here, along with 3 Ravagers. There's going to be a lot of pressure here from this Ling Bling Ravager play. Spinecrawler is going to get pulled down to the lower, to the 3rd to defend this. There is a wall off here, so with these rocks, very interesting ramp indeed to deal with. You can come around the back, or you can push up these rocks here. It looks like our blue Zerg is going to go around the back of the base here and try and push up into this 3rd base. Checking to see if there is a 3rd, which there is not. Looks like he is just going to morph into some more banelings and go for his third up here, however. 2 spines to defend us, along with a handful of lings and 4 roaches. Lings are just going to run right in here and get detonated on by these banelings, leaving these 2 spine crawlers and a bunch of 4 roaches here to clean this up, as a handful of more banelings are going to go run here and try to detonate on these spines. So he's not going to do that. He's just going to detonate on these roaches. Roaches pushing them away. 1 spine crawler going down, however. Is going to leave this third base very exposed, as he is actually rallying away from this fight. Trying to hold off with these 4 roaches. He should be able to clean this up very easily at this point. Burst of Bile going to land and completely whiff, as his push will get pushed back. Very good hold there for our purple Zerg, as he's just going to reinforce with a handful of lings. Looks like he might try to get aggressive here. Move across the map, while on the other side of the map there are a handful of lings as well for our blue Zerg. Good to catch his Ravager L on the map. Good pick off here, as there will not be a Ravager home to defend. However, there are 4 more banelings morphing in here. 1-1 on the way for Pugwash, whereas +1 is on the way for our blue Zerg. Going to give upgrade advantage slightly in favor of Pugwash due to the armor. Kind of cancel out that +1 attack. Pugwash is just playing a heavy macro style, defending back, trying to stay alive as long as he can here. And it looks like, does he know about this? Yeah, okay, he is bringing an army over here to check these rocks out. Just make sure there's army here to defend us. Very interesting map indeed. All these rocks and these ramps and so forth really make it very interesting to play on. These rocks are going to get knocked down as the Zerg army is going to come up this ramp. The banelings are going to detonate on the Zerglings, trying to get as many as they can. Surround here from Pugwash, not the best of surrounds. There is a lot more blue Zerg here, as we do see. Drones are going to be pulled here to defend us, as drones versus roaches generally don't go so well. As 15, 16 roaches drones have gone down so far. GG is called by Pugwash. The first game is going to Team Unrivaled. Alright guys, we are back with game number 2. It is another ZVZ between Xerxes and Achille. There's a delay on the stream, so give it a second for it to catch up. And spawning into the bottom right hand corner of Carnivore is the blue Zerg pieces of Xerxes from Inside Gaming. Spawning into the top left hand corner of Carnivore is the red Zerg pieces of Team Unrivaled. Currently taking the series 1-0 off that first game. Saw the extractor trick go down there to get that extra drone out. Both players pulling the same thing. A pretty standard opening so far by the looks of it. Go ahead and pull this camera back because I like it better that way. Easier to see things. Got a pull first going down here for Xerxes versus a hatchery first for Achille. So quite the opposite is starting this time around. Where Xerxes is going to be the more aggressive player in this game. Both players do, however, should have their pull on the way. No pull just yet. The pull will finish first for Xerxes. Alright, Xerxes. Alright, Achilles pull is down. Hatch gas pull versus pull first. Into that hatchery after. So far, everything just pretty quiet. Anything interesting on this map? Not really. Yeah. Nothing really too interesting on this map. There is a queen on the way for Xerxes, however. The first queen will pop out here for a blue Zerg. As these lings are going to start making their way across the map, these scouting lings. 2 more lings on the way, with speed starting up finally. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Achille is going to start up 6 lings. Speed. Baneling Nest is on the way for Xerxes as well. So it looks like he is going to go be aggressive. I'm not sure if this is a defensive Baneling Nest. We will find out. Looks more like it is. As these scouting lings are going to come in here and take a look around and see exactly what is going on. A spine crawler is thrown down in the natural for that defense. As he does finally scout that there are lings on the map. He's just looking around 2 lings so far. Trying to see what all he can find. As 6 lings have started up back home for Xerxes. The scouting lings will die, but he will have some lings back home to help defend or put pressure out. We'll see where he decides to go with that here shortly. Overlord going to get focused down by this queen. Another one going to float on in here and probably get picked off as well. So far, everything being really quiet. This Overlord will die. Speed has finished up for Xerxes, where speed is just now finishing up. Looks like both players are going to start to be aggressive at this point. As they both have speed, we're going to see exactly which way this is going to go down. There is 1 ling out here to catch this coming across, along with that Overlord. So there is a pack of lings moving towards our red Zerg. Banelings are going to start to morph as Xerxes is going to try and put some pressure on our Zerg here to try and find whatever damage he can. These is a spine color, and he's going to see this Evo chamber get thrown down. Queen's going to get picked off. No transfuse this yet. Good pick off for the amount of lings he threw into this. He might get the second queen. Nope. Just going to back away here. Baneling finally here to help out with his next push. As 22 lings have just finished up for Xerxes and are making their way to cross the map with +1 armor. A +1 carapace, which is going to make these banelings last through more than 1 spine crawler hit or be able to take a baneling hit and keep going. There's only a few handful of lings coming out here. A lair is on the way for Achilles, so I wonder if he's going into... Okay, he's going to get that roach speed again. However, Xerxes is making pushing in here. He's going to detonate these banelings on top of these drones to try and find whatever damage he can. The spine crawler here is going to get some work done on these lings over here, trying to focus on these queens so they're nice and tucked in. Xerxes is starting to bleed out some lings through that spine crawler. He just picked up 2 drones for his trouble so far. 3 Banelings are going to get morphed in here to block off this mineral line so these lings can't get in any further. He does see the Roach Warren, which Roach Warren has finished up. It looks like Xerxes is just going to play as heavily aggressive as he can on lings, as 17 more lings have finished up and are on the way across the map. Army supply is in favor of Xerxes until these roaches start to pop out, whereas 5 army count or worker count is also in favor of Xerxes, killing off 5 drones on that first push. There are some very defensive Banelings here this time around, however. As over here, we will see 7 Banelings being morphed in for Xerxes. Xerxes trying to get these Banelings to trigger. Have to see some trades here for these Banelings. We're going to have to be on point to stay alive here. For our Red Zerg, he's just going to detonate both of them on 1 Baneling by the looks of it. We will just be trading off Banelings at the same time. Another Baneling, 3 more drones are going to go down to his Banelings detonating on the mineral line there. As 2 more Banelings are going to roll in here and try to chase down these drones and just get cleaned up by that spine crawler. Xerxes is going to have to transition as he does see that Roach Warren down. As these lings come across, he's probably just trying to go all in on lings here, but he needs to transition into that Roach tech at some point in time. As I do believe he already has. Yep. Okay, Roach Warren is on the way with +1 range. He's just trying to keep the pressure on to make sure he can't get too many roaches out to defend this. There are 3 Banelings here with these 4 roaches. He's actually going to march right up in here and see this army morphing in. Xerxes is going to run, cancel out these Banelings and bring his Zerglings back home. There are 4 roaches on the map so far, with 6 in production for Xerxes and 4 more in production for Achille. Third base has gone down for Xerxes, so he looks like he is trying to get that base lead. We saw how this turned out for Pugwash last game, trying to get that third. He didn't have the army really behind this to defend. As we are going to see a pretty hefty push coming out here from our Red Zerg. He hasn't started his Ravagers just yet. Looks like he's just going to push with Ling Ravager. Oh, okay, there we go. Banelings are on the way. Could see some Ravagers here as well. That's 8 Banelings being morphed. A lot of Banelings. Scary amount. Or just a Roach army back here for Xerxes. Spine Crawler being pulled down to the low ground to help zone this out and defend this. As he's going to come in here, Xerxes is going to have this hatchery finished. He's going to try and defend this hatchery. But he's so patient with these Banelings, trying to get these roaches to come out here so he can get the detonations on them. He's trying to get, actually, he's going to, okay, he is going to detonate on top of these roaches. There are Ravagers in the mix to help defend this. Spine Crawler finishes up to try and get rid of some of these roaches. He's not going to get too much out of that Spine Crawler just yet, as these Ravagers are going to get pushed back up to the high ground. Third base will end up falling with this push, as 2 drones have gone down so far for Xerxes as well. Xerxes is just running out of army here, and it looks like, yeah, he is going to have to pull the drones. He will clean up everything on top, but this third base will die behind this. While on the other side of the map, Achille is going to take that third base for himself. At which point, we are going to have to see Xerxes make a push as well to try and get this even back out. +2 is on the way for our Red Zerg, giving him the upgrade advantage once again. As both players are on 1-1, Xerxes is going to throw that third base back down. That is a very scary army, more coming on back here for our Red Zerg player. Both players just trying to get the army together. He actually ended up canceling that third and putting it in a different location. It will get spotted, however, as this is probably the easier place to defend for a Zerg player. And to be honest, Xerxes has very little vision on this side of the map. There's an Overlord here that this Queen is just pushing away, but other than that, he's not being able to see exactly when this army is moving out. Which is kind of an annoyance for a lot of people. You know, take that third base, and both players are just kind of going up to that third base economy at this point. But with the lack of vision over here, I don't think Xerxes knows exactly where that third is at. Unless he actually took it south. He knows there? No, he doesn't even know it's there. So I guess he's just assuming that he did take it to the south. Other than that, not much else really going on. Both players are just kind of going a bit more passive at the moment. +2 on the way for Xerxes. It will be a little bit behind Achilles. But he is getting that roach speed as well. +2 is going to finish up for our red Zerg with +1 melee for the Zerglings. As it looks like Xerxes is going to try and move out here to see if he can't prompt an engagement. +2 has finished up, and we will see the timing come out for our red Zerg player to push with this. +2 is on the way for Xerxes. He just needs to hold on to get it. But there's a lot of Zerg here for Achilles as these corrosive biles are going to land on these roaches and miss. He is going to get pushed back onto his creep, however, because he felt he just didn't have enough to break him just yet. Upgrade advantage with 14 roaches on the way is going to be in his favor, as 6 more are on the way for Xerxes, whose third has finally finished up. His net fully saturated. He is slowly starting to mine from it. Lurker Den on the way for Xerxes. Very good transition. I like this idea, actually, to go into the Lurker Den. It's going to make it a lot harder to push into him. Do you have any Hydras out yet? He doesn't have any Hydras out yet. He is just relying on this Roach army against Ling Roach Ravager. As the first Roach Hydras are on the way. 4 Ravagers getting morphed in here for Xerxes, however. These overlords are just dying slowly to corrosive biles. He's leading out overlords to this rally. Meanwhile, a run by down here in the bottom left for some roaches. Going to pick up 3 drones for their trouble. The rest are going to get pulled off here as he is coming back here to defend us. Xerxes just trying to buy himself some time, so he can get his Hydras out, get his Lurkers out, and get slightly ahead of this economy here. Curious, I guess he will take this base next. You have to take this base next. This is a Zerg. It looks like Achilles is going to get ready to move across the map once again. Where's Xerxes' army at? Xerxes' army is up here in the north. He's going to move down here to be ready to spot this army. This overlord will die eventually, though. As Achilles is slowly moving out across the map, he's just trying to pick off whatever vision he can and get the supply cap back in his favor. As Xerxes is just okay. Yeah, Xerxes is going to be supply capped again. Yep. Lurkers have finished up. There is +2 melee and +2 carapace coming out for this Zerg army of Achilles, whereas we just have Lurker Hydra over here at this point going up against these Ravagers. Background music going on? No, it's on. It's just turned down really quiet. It has a tendency to drown everybody out, or drown me out. Alright, so it looks like Xerxes is finally going to move out across the map. He does have Lurkers in this composition here, which are going to be a great help in pushing this army back. There are Hydras finally in the mix for our red Zerg player. These Lurkers are going to burrow. First Bile is going to land all over them and clean them up rather quickly, so there are no more Lurkers here in this mix, as he's just going to push right into Xerxes' army. And that's pretty much going to be it. By the looks of it, 1 Lurker is going to burrow here. Not going to get too much damage done with this Lurker, however, as his army is just going to get cleaned up and he's just rallying units freely into this army of Achilles. It looks like Xerxes is going to wind up getting pushed back once again onto his creep, as his 4th base will get picked off. There's no 4th all the way yet for our red Zerg player. And there's just a handful of roaches here to clean this army up. It's not going to be able to be done. As the Concave, however, is kind of in favor of Xerxes, but it's just too much reserve here for him to deal with. Drones are going to be pulled down here to help push this back, but at what cost? He's starting to bleed out units slowly. He's starting to kind of fall apart. His 4th base will have to be restarted once again, as he's just long distance mining from this 4th. 4th base is on the way, however, for Achilles, so both players looking like they're going to go into that late game compositions. This Roach, Ravager, Hydra, the lurkers as well. Looks like Akili is going to move around to the top part of the map to try and get position on this third base and clean up some overlords as well. Xerxes' army is going to go for another run by down to the south. He's going to split his army up to try and defend this push up here coming up from the top, which he should see very easily. As Akili is just going to come down this ramp and go into this third base. There's not much here to defend this. There's only a few roaches here. Oh, looks like about 15 roaches, give or take. As this third base is going to go down, which puts Xerxes back on a 2-base economy, long distance mining actually. He's almost mined out in his main, or naturally he is mined out in his main. Only one mineral patch left there. As up here in the north, Achilles' army is starting to look scarier and scarier. 18 drones have died on the other side of map, however, for Xerxes. This is a great pickoff. He is getting economic damage done for himself. As roaches are going to get rallied back here to defend this. There's just too many roaches here to defend back home for Achilles right now. As he's going to have to pull his army all the way back to clean this push up. Xerxes needs another base, or he needs to keep this pressure up. He does have done a lot of damage here. He needs to get a handful of units or a lot more units out and just might make a push to get back into this. 22 drones is a lot to have to remake at this game, or point in time for our red Zerg. As these roaches are just going to get trapped down here in the south part of the map. Xerxes got 3 lurkers in the mix now with a bunch of roaches. The real problem here is these Ravagers against these lurkers, because these Ravagers can just drop Corrosive Bile on them. But I think this time the surprise is going to be more favoring Xerxes, as he does have these lurkers burrowed ahead of time. Going to cancel this 4th base down, or 5th base down here in the bottom, in the south part of the map. It looks like both players are just going to go back to that more passive style, as Achilles is just pulling back here to make sure nothing can push into him again. Whereas over here on the other side of the map, Xerxes is just going to start making more lurkers, trying to get that army composition back together. As a roach run by is going to get caught up here in the top part of the map, trying to sneak them in as much as she can. As the 5th base is going to be taken in the north for Achilles. Xerxes is going to move out down towards the 3rd base here in the south that is not mining. Going to have to come back to defend this push, however. Evacuating drones that were in his 4th base. 3 drones. Just nom nom. Eating them all up. At 13 drones so far. Couple roaches going to get trapped back here and get picked off. Roach run by on the other side of the map yet again, however. He's focusing down this 4th base of Achilles. If he can pick this off, that's actually going to be a huge pickup for him. He forced the evacuation already, however. He's just trying to run these roaches out of here at this point. Trying to get them away from this army, trying to keep them alive. Or find more drones down here in the south. He's just going to get in here and start focusing down these drones. 3 drones have fallen. 4. That's pretty much all he's going to get out of this, as these roaches will die. These run-bys are actually keeping him in the game quite a bit here. However, armor supply and worker supply is still quite a bit ahead here for our red Zerg. As these lurkers are going to unburrow and move down here to the south to get ready for this push that is coming from the south side of the map. He needs to burrow these lurkers before this fight starts too much, and try not to clump them up. These Ravager Biles will clean them up very quickly. 3rd base, or 5th base, is going to get cancelled yet again. This army is going to get pushed back. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Achilles is just slowly growing bigger. Few drones here getting picked off. These lurkers are starting to get some more damage done. As there are no lurkers here in the army for Achilles. Lurkers, hero unit for Zerg. So she's going to start that hatchery up again here very quickly, I assume. Both players are sticking to this Roach, Ravager, Hydra composition, or Lurker composition in Xerxes' case. Xerxes is going to make a push across the map here. He's just going to burrow these Lurkers, get on top of this 4th base of Achilles. Going to get the pick off here. These Lurkers are in a very good position here to actually just be able to deny. As we will have a base trade starting up, as Achilles is just going to make a push on the other side of the map. Lurkers are going to morph in at the worst possible spot. These Hydras are just going to get cleaned up. Third base for Xerxes here. Fourth base for Xerxes here is just going to get picked off, as Xerxes is going to move to the south and clean up the third for Achille. Alright, I think this base trade is going to slightly go in favor of our red Zerg player. There is a hatchery being built down here. He's actually going to cancel that hatchery, interestingly enough. As all these drones are going to evacuate here from the third base in the south. At this point, Xerxes has to go. It's going to be a base trade, whether he likes it or not. And he has to win this base trade, otherwise he is out of this game. As the red Zerg army is going to push up this ramp. We're going to start focusing down this layer. 29 drones have gone down, 26 for the red Zerg. He's getting on top of the main base as well. As Xerxes lurkers are just doing as much as they can with this small Hydra composition here. He is building a hatchery in the south side of the map. This cheeky hatchery down here in the bottom. As 33 drones have gone down, there are no workers left on the map for either player right now. It is just down to army value for both players, as these lurkers here are probably what's going to have to win this game. However, knowing that the hatchery is down here, he's just going to come down here. Achille is just going to come down to the south and start trying to pick this army off. There's no way for Xerxes to build any more armies, so this is the last of it. Base trade will be lost, as the lurker den is going to get focused down. That's going to be it. GG. Told to make the background music louder, so I will bring the background music back up for you guys. In the meantime, I'm gonna mute that and get back to the monster. Okay, it seems that due to the lack of Insights Gaming's Masters players not being online for this, it is going to be a 2-0 tonight in favor, or 4-0 basically, in favor of Team Unrivaled. Highly disappointing, but that's just the way it's going to be. I'm not going to sit here and wait for people to get on to play, as it is supposed to be a 5-minute wait time between matches, side map and next player, basically. Since I can't get a hold of anybody from Insight Gaming's side, I guess we're just going to call it there. It is incredibly disappointing, like I said, but that's just the way it's going to be. So, thanks for joining tonight, guys. And that's pretty much going to be it. I hate to make this decision so soon, but as I can't get a hold of anybody. Anyway, I'm going to call it there. Y'all have a good night, and thanks for tuning in. Sorry it was so short of a match tonight. And next week we'll be back with Insight Gaming, hopefully all being here and being ready to play. Anyway, guys, take care and have a good night.